Welcome back. Now, the 2023 Blue Drop report found not only that almost half of the country's drinking water is unsafe, but that 64% of the sewage and wastewater treatment works are at critical risk. As far back as 2004, Seriti Resources CEO Mike Teke called the fact that water would be sold to municipalities. Years later, his company is upping its investments in water treatment plants as it faces that exact prospect. Mike joins us for more detail. Thank you so much for your time, Mike. Now, firstly, your words on the state of the water system in South Africa and where the pain points and bottlenecks are.
Well, we were talking at the mining Indaba about the environmental obligations that we as coal miners have. And we talk about land rehabilitation, we're talking about pollution, and one of the things that came up was water. And I had to explain that we run water treatment plants in our mines because we've got a lot of water that's generated during our mining processes. And we have to ensure that we just don't forget about that water. And as we run these water treatment plants, as soon as we have clean, purified water, what do we do with it? So I was talking about seeking opportunities that we collaborate with municipalities or some of the big towns. We've done it before, and we believe that it can work where we purify the water and then we can come up with a commercial transaction with the municipality and assist.
Yeah, all right. And I mean, just really what parts of the water ecosystem should the private sector immerse itself in? Is it in, everything along the value chain, or are there specific parts that maybe would be more beneficial to the water system?
Well, for me, it's the water that we use, that the mines use, instead of releasing it into streams or rivers. Mistakes do happen at times, but in our case, what we are saying, let's make sure that we seek opportunities. We enter the value chain where the water that we use, and instead of reusing it and we have enough of it, some of it, then we take it to our water treatment plants, we purify it, and from then on, we decide what we do with that water. But in most cases, then it's released into into the different streams or rivers because it's pure, it's purified, or it's gone through different processes. It is at that stage where we have this water and we're saying, why don't we then enter at the end stage where we sell it, or we come up with a commercial arrangement with a municipality.
Yeah. How much financial muscle is Seriti putting behind the investment of these water treatment plants?
Well, I can't quantify the number as yet. Why? Because some of the mines that we took over from Anglo and the ones that we took over from South 32, some of them had existing water treatment plants. So it's a question of extending those those contracts and agreements, but looking at other opportunities. So I can't give you the number at this stage, but we're working on it.
Are there any regulatory hurdles that could creep up if you were to actually get to a point of commercialization in this effort?
It's to make sure that we are aligned with the Department of Water Affairs, is to make sure that we are aligned with the DMR, is to make sure that we are aligned with the municipalities in terms of their requirements. So I guess that everything comes from the government side, and then with our technical partners who deal with this, with the different technology related to water treatment plants.
Is there actually government appetite from the government for this sort of effort from the private sector?
There is keenness to assist, there is keenness to work with us. And it's something that we've explored. As I say, in 2008, there was an arrangement like that in the Steve Tshwete area, municipality area. And I think it won't be something new for us. We have some of the experience and we'll be able to work very well and collaborate with the government.
All right. I mean, Mike, you talk about the environmental obligations as coal miners. Let's actually talk about the energy transition. Seriti is building more coal mines. What is the motivation behind that? As we, amid this effort of the green transition?
Well, the reason we're building coal mines, one, it's because we believe that coal will still be here in another 20, 30 years. Yes, it is coming to an end. Yes, one day you won't have coal because you don't store coal in any vault, you burn it, it's gone. But as we continue to transition into green energy, it's not about coal versus renewables, it's coal and renewables. And as we therefore build our, as you know, that we're developing Seriti Green. As we develop Seriti Green, we have an opportunity to develop another coal mine or two to ensure that we meet the demands domestically and exports.
Yeah. Is there a standpoint that you have on the ideal energy mix that we should have in the country, at least in the medium term, as you're talking about coal and renewable energy? Is there an ideal proportion that you'd like to see there?
Well, I'd like to see at this point in time, because of the infrastructure we have, I believe that base load will be coal because you run a coal mine 24/7. And I believe then you'll have renewables as in wind, solar, and that wind and solar will take a big proportion of that, and it will continue to grow aggressively because there are a lot of people, including us, who are investing in that. And I would have loved us if we could afford to go into nuclear, maybe one power station in terms of nuclear. And that type of mix is good for us as a country. And if we have hydro, because there are areas where there are opportunities for hydro, then we can consider that. But the things that we may eliminate in the mix could be the expensive things that we believe that may not accrue any value. And as power stations are closing, the old ones, let's make sure that we are properly synchronized, that we close. And when it closes, then we replace it with renewable energy. So that mix will work very well.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your insights and just detailing some of the key things that came out of the mining in Ndaba. Appreciate it, Mike. That was Mike Teke, CEO of Seriti Resources.